Welcome to LFFL Prime Time. Tonight's game, not the greatest in the world, Arizona versus New England, but we still absolutely have some things in play this evening. This time of year is just great, right? Last week of the regular season in most of our leagues. So let's check out what's happening here. The LFFL, Andy and I, the Simons brothers, both come to victory, which means Andy is in as your number 6 seed, knocking Matt Merrill out of the playoffs. But we still have 3 games to be decided. Josh has 121 with DeAndre Hopkins, James Conner against Miles 103 of the Patriots defense. Josh has all but clinched the number 3 seed. This win would do that for him. Phil taking on Eric. Eric down just 3 points with Ramondre Stevenson, but both these teams are out of the playoffs. So even if Eric comes back to win, Andy's win has basically told Eric he is out. And then finally, Bill, a 41-point lead over Todd. This is a big game for the 3 seed. If Todd wins and Josh loses, Todd would be the 3 seed. But as you can see, Todd is losing currently. Josh is winning currently, which means Josh is likely your 3 seed. So seeds are more or less set in this league. My win in Greg's loss to my brother hands me the number 1 seed. Greg will be the number 2 seed. We will both have bye weeks into the semifinals. As I said earlier, Josh likely to be a 3 seed is outscored Todd on points. All he needs to do is win or have Todd lose. If one of those two things happens, Josh is 3, Todd is 4. Bill will be your 5 seed, and Andy will be your 6 seed. Sneak in the playoffs. It will be likely a 3-way tie between Andy, Matt, and Eric. Andy will win. He has outscored those teams by a significant margin on the season. Your LFFL2, what to watch for? The 2 teams in first and second place are the 2 teams left to be decided. Phil, Merrills, and Andy have already won their games. Miles has a 3-point lead over Eric, who has Ramondre Stevenson. Normally, you would say 3 points is nothing, and this 3 points isn't nothing. That's 100 yards or a touchdown, or a 2-point conversion in 50 yards, or 50 yards receiving rushing. You can see Eric got to have Stevenson do some things tonight to get back in the lead over Miles. If Eric loses, Bill looks like he is going to win. He will pull into a first place tie with Eric. Phil has won. I have lost, which means we'll be a few games back of Eric and possibly Bill as well. So this is coming down to probably these 2 teams at the end of the year. LFFL3, we have a lot to be decided over here. Nate and I, your only winner so far. Nate and I also not in the playoffs. So we have a lot of playoff teams jockeying for position right now. Your playoffs are set based on the results, but the seeding is not very set at all. Matt Merrill has a 7-point lead over Bill, who has the Patriots defense. Bill does currently lead the bench points, but I don't know if that'll hold because Matt does have a few bench players playing this evening, even though his starters are all finished. Now, Bill currently in the number 2 position. However, his competition for number 2 would be Phil. If Bill loses, Phil needs to beat Eric. He's down 14 with Kyler Murray, and he would need Kyler Murray to outscore the Patriots defense by 10 points. Could that happen? Sure, everything I just listed seems like it could potentially possibly happen, but that's one to watch for right there with the Bill and Phil stuff going on. Eric's seeding could potentially change based on a win-loss. He is in the playoffs, as is Matt Merrill. Both of them are in currently. Seeding could potentially change, but that's really up to them winning or losing their games. And Greg plays a part in this as well. Greg currently down 22 to Matt Brennan. 32 to Matt Brennan with Ramondre Stevenson. Does not seem likely to come back to get the win here. However, if he does, Greg can get as high as the 4 seed, but Greg is in the playoffs at this point with the 6 seed with a loss. He'll be there based on the rest of the results. And then finally, Todd looks good to beat Miles this evening. Now, as I explained to you, playoffs, Sean will be the number 1 seed. Bill or Phil are still in the battle for this bye week. I just kind of laid that out for you. Phil would need a loss from Bill, a win for Phil, and he would need Kyler Murray to outscore the Patriots by 10 points at least. 4, 5, and 6. Your 4 or 5 matchup is very likely Eric versus Matt. Obviously, in this scenario, Eric would be the 4 seed, Matt would be the 5 seed. Greg can jump as high as 4, but he would need to win his game and have both Eric and Matt lose. And he can jump one or the other if only one of them lose. But he needs to make up a significant margin to win his game. So that's what your playoffs look like in this league. Thursday night football. Congratulations to my good friend Jeremy on his 3rd showdown win of the season. A close 1-point win over Phil and Bill. Nate still with the lead on the season with Eric in 2nd, Bill in 3rd place. What to watch for in the LFFL 5? I will be taking a lead in the final semifinal week over Greg. Remember, we have a 3-week semifinal because of bye weeks. I have a lead right now. Plus, I have Kyler Murray and Ramondre playing tonight. Phil appears like he will take a lead over Eric into the final week as well. Both have a receiver in play. Phil with a 28-point lead currently over Eric. In the guillotine line, I am so sorry, Matt Merrill. I texted him last night to congratulate him on victory, not realizing Josh still had Jonnu Smith. Obviously, looking at what we have here, you love Matt to win this game. Josh says Jonnu Smith needs to clear 3.5 points to even count. I don't know how many times the score he's even scored 3.5 points this season. So Jonnu needs at least 10 just to catch up to Matt, and that would have to mean Kyler Murray and Mac Jones both record zeros because Matt doesn't have a quarterback score yet and has both the quarterbacks in tonight's game. So Matt Merrill is like 98% likely your guillotine champion, but we'll hold off. I shouldn't have sent the text last night so quickly. Matt Merrill likely to be your champ over here, though. And LFFL 9, your championship round, week 1 of 3. Both made our moves this week. So these are some pretty nice numbers here in week 1. I'm at 198.7. Greg's at 163.6. Both have a player playing tonight. Both those players need to score more than 5 points to count. So our final scores will likely be in this range. I will likely carry in about a 35-point lead into the next week of the season, barring something crazy from one of those two players. So that's all I got for tonight. Good luck this evening. I hope you do well. Please jump in our DraftKings Showdown competition for the night. DraftKings is getting very close at top, especially those teams at the top. So still, number of weeks left to play. We have multiple 3-game slates coming up the next couple of weeks. So should be a lot of fun on DraftKings. Get those lineups filled out, and we'll talk to you soon.